So I was strolling through the whitehouse.gov website and I saw this little doozy that I missed on December 21st. And it was an executive order blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights or abuse or corruption. Now, it seems like to me that this is putting Open Society, George Soros' Open Society Foundation and the Hillary Clinton Foundation on notice for subversive activities, but that's just me. Let me read a little excerpt from it. I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, find that the prevalence and severity of human rights abuse and corruption that have their source in the whole or substantial part outside the United States, such as those that committed or directed by persons listed in the annex to this order, have reached such scope and gravity that they threaten the stability of international political and economic system. Human rights abuse and corruption undermine the values that form an essential foundation of a stable, secure, functioning society, have devastating impact on individuals, weaken democratic institutions, degrade the rule of law, perpetuate violent conflicts, facilitate the activities of dangerous persons, and undermine economic markets. This is like, sounds just like Soros, right? So I want to check out the annex of this report. Let's see, here we go, the annex. Who's he naming here? He's naming Mokhtar, they naming a bunch of Muslims that look like here. I don't see a Soros on there. Nicaragua, they got to put in Russia, China, Serbia, Uzbekistan, Guatemala, Sudan, another Russia, Gambia, Burma, DRC. So anyway, I just want to call your attention to this thing. You know, whenever you see things like this last week or the week before, where they're going over this Russian dossier in the Senate, to see this come out just after that, let me play a little clip of this right here.
Agent Peter Strzok, the former deputy head of counterintelligence at the FBI.
I don't remember his exact title, but I believe that's correct.
And he's the same Peter Strzok who was a key player in the Clinton investigation, the same Peter Strzok who interviewed Cheryl Mills, whom Abedin participated in the Clinton, Secretary Clinton's interview. And he's also the same Peter Strzok who now we know changed Director Comey's exoneration letter, changed the term gross negligence, which is a crime, to extreme carelessness. Is that the same guy?
Well, Congressman, I don't know every step that the individual you mentioned was involved in, but certainly I know that he was heavily involved in the Clinton email investigation.
Thank you. And is this the same Peter Strzok who helped, was a key player in the Russian investigation, and the same Peter Strzok who was put on Mueller's team, special counsel Bob Mueller's team?
I certainly know that he was working on the special counsel's investigation. Whether or not he would be characterized as a key player on that investigation, that's really not for me to say.
And the same Peter Strzok that we learned this past weekend was removed from the special counsel team because he exchanged text messages with a colleague at the FBI that displayed a pro-Clinton bias. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Talk about the same guy. Okay.
Yes.
Well, here's what I'm not getting. Peter Strzok is selected to be on Mueller's team after all this history, put on Mueller's team, and then he's removed for some pro-Clinton text messages. I mean, there are all kinds of people on Mueller's team who are pro-Clinton. There's been all kinds of stories. PolitiFact reported 96% of the top lawyers' contributions went to Clinton or Obama. But Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, interviewed Mills, Abedin, interviewed Secretary Clinton, changed gross negligence a crime to the term extreme carelessness, who ran the Russian investigation, who interviewed Mike Flynn, gets put on Mueller's team, and then he gets kicked off for a text message that's anti-Trump. If you kicked everybody off Mueller's team who was anti-Trump, I don't think there'd be anybody left. So here there's got to be something more here. It can't just be some text messages that show a pro-Clinton, anti-Trump bias. There's got to be something more. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. But my hunch is it has something to do with the dossier. Director, did Peter Strzok helped produce and present the application to the FISA court to secure a warrant to spy on Americans associated with the Trump campaign.
Congressman, I'm not prepared to discuss anything about a FISA process in this setting.
We're not talking about what happened in the court. We're talking about what the FBI took to the court, the application. Did Peter Strzok, was he involved in taking that to the court?
I'm not going to discuss in this setting anything to do with the FISA court applications.
Well, let's remember a couple things, Director. And I know you know this. We've all been made aware of this in the last few weeks. Let's remember a couple things about the dossier. The Democrat National Committee and the Clinton campaign, which we now know were one and the same, paid the law firm, who paid Fusion GPS, who paid Christopher Steele, who then paid Russians, to put together a report that we call a dossier full of all kinds of fake news, National Enquirer garbage. And it's been reported that this dossier was all dressed up by the FBI, taken to the FISA court, and presented as a legitimate intelligence document, that it became the basis for granting a warrant to spy on Americans. And I'm wondering if that actually took place. It sure looks like it did. And the easiest way to clear it up is for you guys to tell us what was in that application and who took it there.
Congressman, our staffs have been having extensive interaction with both intelligence committees on our interaction with the FISA court, and I think that's the appropriate setting for those questions.
Oh, anyway, that's about it. I mean, that whole executive order, if you read it, they're going after this guy right there. So I'm going to put it in a link below. Executive order blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption. I hope this also covers the pedophiles. I hope it covers the Clinton Foundation. And I hope the left goes mad when he starts arresting people. That's it. Peace.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all